Well, hello there, me lovelies. Let's have a little trip down memory lane, shall we? Back to the early 1980s. The world was changing, and so was the money in our pockets. For years, we'd been using the good old £1 note. A lovely bit of paper it was, but it had a problem. It just wasn't lasting long enough. Think about it, all that folding, stuffing into wallets and passing from hand to hand. The average pound note was lucky to last 9 months before it was all tatty and torn. It was becoming a real headache for the Bank of England to keep printing new ones. It was time for a change, a proper change. So, the clever bods at the Royal Mint put their heads together. They needed something strong, something that could withstand the rigors of daily life. The answer, my friends, was a coin. A brand new, shiny £1 coin. This wasn't just about making something that lasted longer. It was about modernizing the currency. A coin could last for 40 years or more, making it much more economical in the long run. It was a bold move, getting rid of a note that everyone was used to, but it was a necessary one. The stage was set for a new star to enter the nation's purses and pockets. The decision was made, and the year was 1983. This was the year the very first round pound coin would make its grand debut. It was a momentous occasion in the history of British money. The government announced that the pound note would be slowly phased out, and this new, chunky, golden-coloured coin would take its place. There was a bit of a grumble at first, as you can imagine. People were so attached to the familiar feel of the paper note. But soon, the public would come to embrace this new piece of metal that was set to become a part of everyday life for decades. This first coin, the 1983 edition, is what we call a first of its kind, and that's what makes it special. It was the trailblazer, the one that started it all. Every coin that followed owed its existence to this original design. It represented the end of one era and the beginning of another. It wasn't just a piece of currency. It was a symbol of the times, a small metallic marker of progress. And as any good dealer knows, when something is the first, it often becomes the most interesting for collectors down the line. It's a real piece of history you can hold in your hand. Now let's talk about the look of this little beauty. The 1983 pound coin wasn't just any old lump of metal. It was a work of art, a proper Bobby Dazzler. The Royal Mint wanted it to feel substantial and look regal. On the tails side, it featured the Royal Coat of Arms, a magnificent and detailed design by the talented artist Eric Sewell. It showed the lion and the unicorn standing proudly, representing England and Scotland. It was a design that screamed Great Britain, full of history and tradition. It had to be something special to replace the pound note, and this design certainly delivered the goods. On the head side, of course, was the portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, crafted by the famous artist Arnold Machin. It's a portrait we all came to know and love, a truly iconic image. But there was another clever detail. Around the edge of the coin, they inscribed a Latin phrase, Decus et Tutormen. What does that mean, you ask? It means an ornament and a safeguard. This wasn't just a fancy motto. It was originally used on coins to prevent people from clipping the edges to steal the precious metal. A lovely touch of history right there on the side of the coin. The coin itself was made from a nickel-brass alloy, which gave it that distinctive golden color. It was thicker and heavier than other coins in circulation, which made it feel valuable and important. It had a weight and a presence that the flimsy old note just couldn't match. The production process at the Royal Mint was a sight to behold. Huge machines stamped out thousands of these coins every minute, each one a perfect little piece of treasure. It was a massive operation to get enough of these coins ready for the big launch day in April 1983. This combination of a classic, patriotic design, a weighty and durable material, and that fascinating edge inscription made the 1983 pound coin an instant classic. It felt different, it looked different, and it was built to last. The public might have been hesitant at first, but you couldn't deny the quality and thought that had gone into creating this coin. It was designed to be both beautiful and practical, a coin fit for a queen and for the everyday person on the street. It was a real triumph of design and engineering. When the 21st of April 1983 arrived, the Royal Mint released a torrent of these new coins into the wild. Banks across the United Kingdom were stocked up, ready to start handing them out in place of the old paper notes. Imagine the scene, people going into their local bank or shop and getting their first look at this chunky golden coin. At first there was a bit of confusion. Some people called it a Maggie after the Prime Minister at the time, Margaret Thatcher. Vending machines, parking meters and payphones all had to be updated to accept the new coin, which was a huge undertaking. The initial reaction was a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. Many people found the new coin too heavy and bulky, especially compared to the lightweight note they were used to. It was a common complaint that they made your pockets jingle and weighed down your purse. The press was full of stories, some people loving the new coin and others loathing it. But as the old pound notes became tattier and started to disappear from circulation, people slowly but surely got used to their new metallic friend. It became the go-to coin for everything from buying a newspaper to feeding a parking meter. This coin wasn't just for use in the UK though. Its story started to travel. Visitors to Britain would take them home as souvenirs, little golden reminders of their trip. This is where the American interest starts to creep in. For American tourists, the round pound was a novelty. Their own dollar was still a note, so a high-value coin like this was fascinating. They were a tangible piece of British culture, almost like a mini souvenir from London. Many of these coins crossed the Atlantic in the pockets and bags of travellers, beginning their new life in a different country. Over time, the 1983 coin became the foundation of a whole series. Each year, the design on the tails side would change to represent the different countries of the United Kingdom, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. But the 1983 coin, with its royal arms design, was the one that started it all. Its journey from the drawing board at the Royal Mint to the pockets of millions of people was a fascinating one. It successfully navigated initial public skepticism to become an essential, and for many, a beloved part of our daily lives for over 30 years. Now, here's where it gets really exciting, my friends. This is where the dealers and collectors come in. Why are people, especially in America, still hunting for a 1983 pound coin today? It's all about rarity, history, and the thrill of the chase. For collectors, owning the first issue of any series is a big deal. The 1983 coin is the granddaddy of all the round pounds. It's the original, the blueprint. Finding one in good condition, especially after all these years, is a real achievement. It's like owning the first ever edition of a famous book. It's a piece of numismatic history. But the real treasure hunt begins when we talk about mistakes, or what we in the trade call error coins. You see, even with the Royal Mint's incredible precision, tiny mistakes can happen. And when they do, a coin's value can go through the roof. For the 1983 pound coin, one of the most famous errors is the upside-down edge inscription. Normally, the Decus et Tutamen lettering should be readable with the Queen's head facing up. On some rare coins, the inscription was stamped the other way around. Finding one of these is like finding a needle in a haystack, and they can be worth a pretty penny to the right collector. There are other stories too, some that have become the stuff of legend among coin collectors. Whispers of coins struck on the wrong metal blanks, or with parts of the design missing. These are the things that make a collector's heart beat faster. An American collector, for instance, might have got one as change on a trip to London in the 80s and kept it in a jar. Years later, they might discover it's a rare error version worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. It's the potential for that cheap as chips find to turn into a real Bobby Dazzler that keeps people searching. And that's why, even today, in 2026, the hunt for the 1983 pound coin continues. The round pound was replaced by the new 12-sided coin back in 2017, so they are no longer in circulation. This makes them even more desirable. People all over the world, from London to Los Angeles, are checking their old coin jars, piggy banks, and the back of their sofas. They are searching for that little piece of golden history, hoping to find a standard 1983 coin for their collection. or if they're really lucky, a rare error coin that could be a little gold mine. It's a fantastic hobby, and it all started with this one brilliant coin. What a find!